I really wanted to have a big emphasis on salads because you need a balance, and I don't want to eat pizza every day, twice a day.
But we're still eating pizza.
We mostly just eat pizza.
I don't want to, but I still do it.
We mostly just
it's
eat
like the
pizza.
carrot and the stick,
It's
right?
so good.
To get us towards the salad. Right? You know?
And it still tastes so good.
Ain't it great? Season 8. We're back with the No Dishes podcast. Once again, brought to you by our friends at Visit Bloomington. Check them out at visitbloomington.com. It's a great resource, even if you're just a local looking for something to do. Also, all of our other advertisers on this episode, they help make this whole thing possible. So please show them some love. Anyways, play that theme song.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. No dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine, relax and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
All right, we're back from the dead. It's been resurrected. Max's Place. It's not on the square anymore, but even better, 17th and College. We have co-owners here.
Yes.
Abel Garcia and Travers Marks. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Just got done with the meal at over at the old Yonkers, so I'm feeling great.
Doesn't get much better than that.
No.
I had a banana with a brown spot on it.
Yeah. Potato.
Yeah.
Same
Well,
thing.
I had a ribeye with a nice GSM pairing with it, so I can't, what can I say?
Well, you answered my question. I was going to ask what cut you did. You're a ribeye guy.
Oh, always. You got to love that little bit of fat of the back end that just
Yes.
says call home and
It melts in your mouth.
oh yeah. I mean, if even if I was working out, which I don't, that would be the call home to be like, if I'm cheating on that week, that little back end of ribeye has enough fat around it that just have enough to.
You know what? Actually, let's just do
This is about food, right?
Let's just do
not
an
sex, it's
hour.
about food, right? Yeah,
Let's do an hour of
thank you.
Abel talking about a ribeye, and then we'll cut it out and be like, "Is it actually about a ribeye?"
Everyone knows you do the best food like noises. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I have dreams about these noises.
It's the Tim Allen Home Improvement. Well, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Excited to talk pizza.
Thanks for
talk
having us.
Pizza, music, brews, all the
Yeah.
fun
Everything.
stuff.
Salads.
And salad, absolutely. Slice specials.
During the week.
Yeah. We'll talk about all of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Noon.
let's go ahead and set the scene here.
Okay.
What's the history of Max's Place?
So everybody always asks, who is Max? And often people think I'm Max. But Max was a Rottweiler.
Nice. All right.
And he roamed free at the original Max's Pizza location out on Fairfax.
Okay.
And that was owned by Bob Riley and his wife. And I apologize for not knowing her name, but she was very important to the business. She brought the original dough recipe from Pittsburgh, as far as I understand,
I didn't
which
know that.
came
That's
from
PA. I didn't know
it
that.
came from New York City.
We're here to learn things.
Came from Italy to
I know
New
a lot
York
of PA
City.
guys that and people from the East Coast they claim it what it is, but I like hearing it that it's the original owner came from like a PA kind of
Yeah,
recipe. I
absolutely.
really
Right.
dig that.
Yeah, so the recipe supposedly comes from Italy to New York to Pittsburgh to Lake Monroe, and then Neil, Bob's brother, and Neil's wife Stacy, we teamed up to bring Max's to 7th Street, which is the original Max's Place. See the differentiation from Max's Pizza.
Yeah, I'm following. I'm
Okay.
following. We're good.
Right. So that's where Max's hit Bloomington. Yeah, we were there for 6 years. I ended up being the sole owner for most of that period of time.
That was 6 years on 7th Street, yeah?
Yeah.
And then
And then my friend Paul Pruitt and myself partnered to move it to the Square. And we did that for a couple years. I left the business. He kept it going for a little while, and then it closed. And that was probably 12 years ago, roughly.
A while back.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then have you been wanting to bring it back for a while, and then it just finally kind of came to fruition?
No.
What happened? Walk us through how it came back.
I fell down. I hit my head.
And you're like, this is a good idea. This is a good idea.
Let's go into that.
No. What happened was I saw this Endeavor food group become a thing on social media where I was witnessing it. And then I went to some of the places and I thought to myself, this has to be about the dumbest damn thing I've ever seen because none of these restaurants have anything in common. It's not like you're going to, you're like trying to run 12 pirate ships from some other location.
Well, one's a pirate ship, one's a cruise ship, one's a...
I mean, they're all pirate ships to me. So, yeah, I just figured that wasn't going to work. And lo and behold, it didn't. And then I saw this place for rent sale.
Formerly Hoosier Hank's Pizza Mac.
Yeah, North. Yeah, not to be confused with the phone number stealing Hank's Pizza Mac that used to be.
Oh, absolutely. The best thing we can say right now, if you ever want to call the original Max's number, 812-330-0000, just keep hitting 0 until someone answers and say, is this Max's? They're going to say no, and you can say, why?
Why is it not Max's?
Why?
It's actually the original swing-in number.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
It rang in my place while we were preparing to open, and then it got heisted by the new owner over there, who I tried to reach out to. I've never met.
Yeah. So there's a new owner of the East Side one. It's not part of Endeavor. Wow.
No.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know. See, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So they took the phone number, and you are not bitter about it.
Oh, no. No.
Well, the biggest thing is I think everyone in Bloomington understands what Endeavor did and what they try to do and what they ended up doing.
Right.
Which is, more or less failing, except for maybe a feast that ended up selling, that was making some money, right?
Right.
And
because of Eric Bueno.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the point being is like everyone understood that, hey, this is what was going on. So for them to kind of end up, buying this, essentially what it was just like a miscommunication. We, there were two versions of Hank's. We bought a turnkey on the north side of College. And that was ours, turnkey. That means you just come in, just take it over.
Right.
Do what you can with it. And because there were two Hank's pizzas, and I mean, we can go into more details about it, but essentially we wanted to keep that number there because there was so much history at the north location.
Of course, yeah.
The Rockies location there, going into it from where it was. Right?
It was written on our door. It was painted on our door, and we had a neon sign that said 3300000.
Yeah.
And I was very excited about that. But
there it is.
Yeah, you couldn't go more into more like sorry, but we have a domain.
Right.
I mean,
I contacted a lawyer. He said that I might have a case, but it was too
not worth
not worth
the money
it.
And the time.
And I went.
Well, if he had the money, we'd do it.
Yeah. and I did reach out to the new owner several times. I went over there several times.
Just not interested.
And I couldn't get an audience with him.
Huh.
And I did get a phone number through a source and messaged him that at the very end, I said, hey, I'll give you $500 just to give it back to me. And we won't even have any hard feelings.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
So new phone number has been established?
812. Let's it's very memorable. 812-822-3415.
Okay.
Just sticks in your mind, doesn't it?
100%. Boom. I got it. I never
Just like the old one.
Never have to look it up again.
Nope, never.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to move better, feel better, and live better? Look no further than Move Bloomington, where their small group personal training programs are designed to improve strength, balance, and flexibility. With a welcoming environment, their expertly guided workouts can help you feel supported in the life and activities you love in and out of the gym. Whether you're new to exercise, a lifelong athlete, or anywhere in between, their dedication to personalized programming will deliver sessions that meet you where you are. Get started today using the code NODISHES to get 50% off their 3-session Kickstart program. So what makes Max's Max's? You guys are known for your crust, for the pizza. What is it that someone can expect when they're coming into Max's place that separates you from all the other pizza places in town?
Well, there's so many versions of it. I mean, can you talk about the 7th and 6th Street version? I mean, because we're dealing. I mean, we're having a lot of versions of it, but like, what are people expecting from the old, and what they're expecting from the new? I think that's a whole loaded question. Like, where it started at, where we are now, and what we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Well, the bedrock has always been the pizza, and that's what got me in the business in the first place. Because my young daughter was addicted to the cheese pizza. And she go, I want Max's cheese pizza. And there was really no dealing with her. So we would drive out there and get the cheese pizza. But as far as it goes, the 7th Street, I was very green when we went into that. Naive, you could say. And it took a long time, but right before we closed that down, we were at a profitable status. I had a lot of debt built up, which I probably couldn't have managed without the help of a partner. And then we moved into the square and had what I considered to be a real nice place with a fairly complete menu, good staff, and it was working fairly well until the city implemented the parking meters downtown, and the clientele would come in for a pizza, and a beer, see a little music, end up staying a little too long, and get a parking ticket. And they're like, well, screw that. So our business was growing at about 20%. And it started going down about 20%.
Wow.
And we closed before it got bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great spot. I mean, I remember going to Newell Calvary shows there, and it was popping off. It was great music, and you had the bar in the back. Always a great beer selection. So, I mean, I've seen it.
I mean, it wasn't a bad location. It was good enough that
it was a great location.
King Doe took it over, and now they made that into a satellite. They made that into Indianapolis. So, I mean, it could have worked on. It's just, I think the Max's being into the interim there was really just, it couldn't have survived that.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just great that you brought it back, because I think a lot of people still miss that pizza. I've heard it from people. I've seen it on social media. So many people have been really excited that Max's is back, and you still got that green and purple color scheme, and it's just quirky, and it's Max's. It has this very unique character and charm. And so I love to see that it's been brought back. So how long have you guys been reopened for now? A couple months?
Oh no. February 2nd, Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
So a little over 45 days. I mean, if we say 60, but if you count off days, whatever days off we do have.
Yeah. Few and far between, I'm sure.
A little bit over 45 days for sure.
Yeah.
But when the big push for us to be open is obviously everyone knowing from us from the square side or even Fairfax Road, and just being like, hey, thank God you're open, because honestly, even if we're not doing a bad product, we're doing a great product. But even if we were doing a bad product, it's one of those things where kind of like the old yogis, where everyone's going to open up and come at you because they're just really hoping that you really nailed it to get back to where you were. And I think, we're not even questioning it where we are. We're easily brought back the old product, and people are just like, thank God that this is not only maybe a different small stage compared to where we are or whatever, but they're like the backbone of the product, which is the pizza. They're like, oh, it's right there.
Yeah, the pizza, again, the feel of the place, the color scheme, the still having the live music. Well, it's still Max's.
The big difference is Abel.
One of the big.
Well, it's a really big difference, because he's a badass chef.
Yeah, I mean, it's the closest thing we have to a celebrity chef in Bloomington.
Right.
I mean, it's Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bobby Flay. Yeah,
I don't know about that, right? But anyway, so we were making good pizza, and he's improved some of the items that go on the pizza. The meatballs are amazing. The pesto is fantastic. And I really wanted to have a big emphasis on salads because you need a balance. And I don't want to eat pizza every day, twice a day.
Right.
So we had to have something else there.
And if the three of us are saying that, then that means we should
We
have.
say that we're not eating salad. I mean, we're still eating pizza.
We mostly just eat pizza.
I don't want to, but I still do.
We
it.
mostly just
It's
eat
like the
pizza.
carrot and the stick,
It's
right?
so good.
To get us towards the salad. Right? You know?
And it still tastes so good.
Well, I went in with Kyle Denke, the COO at One World, who's been on the podcast, who's fantastic. He's helping to bring back Taste of Bloomington.
Yeah.
He's on the board of Visit
Oh,
Bloomington.
dude, congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you. Yeah.
I cannot hear
And
enough
thanks.
positive things. I mean,
Crossing
We
our
love it.
fingers.
no, for sure.
We
I
love
mean, even random things on Reddit, I see that everyone's just like, I'm so glad people are hearing our complaints. They'd be like, thank you, whoever.
Yeah.
They don't even know that it's you, but they're like,
Right.
thank you, whoever it is, for bringing it back the way someone of us thought it should be.
Yeah,
back,
well, that was
you
always
know?
the feedback is I pay for a ticket and then I'm paying for full portion. So we're like, we're going to scale down the portions,
Right.
price cap, free to attend. And I'm glad that it's resonated with people.
I
But-
forget the woman that came in from Master Rental, but she came in, got
Yeah.
a pie, and I was like, "Hey, you're supporting it. Of course,
Yeah.
I got you." And she was like, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, I just heard about it like
I love that.
a day
That's great.
before, and I mean, as soon as she said, I mean, she had a Master Rental shirt on, so I was like, did you buy it at a raffle or is that you? You know? I don't know.
No. Well, shout out to Darren and their team because they came on as a presenting sponsor. Our largest expense was going to be with Master Rental for tents and tables and chairs and porta pots and the stage and all this shit. And so for them to do over half of that in kind so we can make this event happen is huge.
Awesome.
So I want to say thank you to Darren and everyone at Master Rental.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Kyle and I went to have lunch and did your slice special, which is an insanely good deal. It's a really good slice of pizza with a salad for $7.99. And nowadays, I know people harp on it, how expensive it is, but like that's a steal. $7.99, and the salad was great. I know you talked about Abel really bringing things up a notch. The balsamic was like nice and thick, but not too thick. But it was just you could tell it was a good homemade dressing. And just to have that on a side salad with I forget what the special pizza was that day, but it was
It changes every day.
Yeah, exactly. What are the normal? You do like cheese, pepperoni, or the special?
I mean, obviously, we have a regular cheese and a pepperoni slice, and then we just change it up. I mean, when it comes down to it, what's the most ingredients we have in house? That's what's going to be on the special slice. Are we overabundant on spinach? Guess what? You're going to probably see spinach 3 times a week. That when it comes down to it. But no, we really love doing that special. We're lucky that it is one of those like cheap specials in town, and we hate to say cheap because we know we could probably charge more for it.
Of course.
But we're just trying to get into the lunch system. Hopefully in the future we can open up a little bit earlier to really hit that home crowd. But for right now, I'm telling you, like people that know our lunch special, they just come in like, hey, can I get a slice? And if it's after our slice special, like, hey, you got any slices left? Sure. Yeah.
Great. I mean, what do you want at lunch?
man?
You want to get in and get out, and you don't want to spend a ton of money, and you want to eat good food.
It's super fast.
It nails out. Yeah, it comes out.
Yeah.
It's like almost immediate.
Yeah.
It's affordable. You're in and out, and it's like you don't feel like you got fast food. It's like good, hearty, good ingredients. So we really enjoyed it. We're like, damn, this is a home run. And Travers was there. I was like, dude, you guys need to push the shit out of this because I feel like you just throw $7.99 out there, people are going to be flocking. So what's the 45 days you've been open? What's been the initial response? I know you already talked about some people just being like, hey, I'm glad it's back. What's the first 45 days been like for you guys?
Check. Coming to you this summer, it's the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville. Brought to you by B97 and Hoosier Country 105.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Enjoy live music every Saturday from May 24th through July 26th. That's 10 weeks of music every Saturday evening from 6:30 to 8. Located at the Marcy J. Lewis Park. And did I mention it's free? Dance the night away with the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville.
Overall, outside of our regulars that wanted it back, our mainstay is because of our location, our target audience up there is really students, and they're finally coming in. I got guys from Connecticut, New Jersey, New York. They're coming in like, hey man, can I just get a regular? I'm like, yeah, I got you on a regular pie, blah blah blah. Like, I've been to Essex County. Like, oh, where from? Like, and we just sit there and talk about everything else except pizza.
Right.
But because of talk about that background, they're just like, this guy knows what he's want.
Got some street cred.
I got this. Like, here we go. Talk about the boardwalk I used to be in New Jersey, and they're like, oh my gosh, you must know a pizza because you've been in this board that got destroyed. That kind of thing. And going from that to like people that know us from our special, they're just like, oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, the only negative I think I hear from some of our items are either we're not open early enough and we're not open late enough.
Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, if you want to pay for our labor, come in and
you gotta,
pay for those
you gotta
extra
start,
10 hours.
You gotta build it up
Right.
Expand
And we
the
know where we
hours
want to
as-
be. Yeah.
You just opened.
Yeah.
You're going to limit things and then grow as the demand is there.
Right.
Walk me through the menu a little bit. Tell me about some of these specialty pies that you guys do.
Well,
Some of the old school ones.
the probably still the main seller is the Crossroads, and my good friend Tim Moore, that's a drummer that I play music with sometimes, came in and ordered a calzone at the old place, and on that calzone he wanted spinach, and whole cloves of roasted garlic, sun-dried tomatoes, pine nuts, and of course the calzones come with the ricotta cheese in them.
My favorite cheese.
And as I took down the order, I was like, that would make a really good pizza.
Every one you're like,
Yeah. And so I did the naming and put it on the menu, and it's been very popular since then.
So which came first, your band or the pizza, as far as the Crossroads name?
Well, originally, when I was in the womb, my parents saw Cream in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they play the song by Robert Johnson. I believe I'm sinking down. Right? Eric Clapton plays the lead guitar.
He does.
So the night before I was born, my dad didn't have a name. My mom didn't have a name. He was sitting with a friend going through a 10,000 name book, and it said Crossroads, Travers. So I got the name Travers about a guy making a deal with the devil to play the blues. Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
No, it's a great backstory.
So, yeah, I might have named the pizza after myself.
And then your band, your group is called Zion Crossroads.
Yeah, I have a band, Zion Crossroads, and we'll be at the Porthole on May 10th.
There you go.
Shout out.
Play Food Truck Friday as well. You guys are all around.
Yeah.
And so did you have the pizza named the Crossroads first, or did you have Zion Crossroads?
Oh, Zion Crossroads before the pizza.
All right, yeah. Abel, tell us about some of the newer additions to the pizza menu.
Oh, well, I mean, the first one you're really going to see, without going too nerdy into it, is going to always be the chef specialty pizza I do. I'm trying to change it up. If not every month, every 2 months. It really just depends on like the popularity of a pizza. Like the one that we first started off with, it had a roasted red pepper sauce, some shaved Brussels sprouts, some goat cheese. We use our 3 Regal blend cheese, which has like pecorino romano, Asiago. Finish it with goat cheese, and then when it's done baking, we finish it with some balsamic glaze.
Ooh,
So
okay.
that's a nice like.
You're
like
speaking,
good.
you're speaking
no,
my
no, no, no.
language.
And it's funny because like people when they hear that one, they're like, "Oh, I can't wait for you." Like, how'd you come up with that? I'm like, "Oh, that came up from a appetizer I used to do back in the day."
Yeah.
We used to do like dehydrated dates. We would like hydrate them in either a booze or some kind of other liquid that wasn't just water, and then we would stuff them with chorizo, wrap them with bacon, bake them, put them on a roasted red pepper sauce, a little bit of goat cheese spread on top, and then we do our Brussels sprout shavings on top of that, and that was an appetizer. So that's where like I'm coming into this new version of Max's is like, how are we taking something that people already know and love and trust back in the day here in town, and how can we bring that back? Not mess it up and bring it back to the forefront, but also how do we make it into the next version of what that is? And I'm sure we'll talk about it, but like that's part of where like I came into this. Like, I've been doing a few things, and certainly Trav and I, in the few years we've known each other, we've always been talking about what should we be building together. We've been talking about a business together.
Yeah.
It just happens that the next business we did together, we wanted to do together, was Max's.
Great.
It just came to that. But using my knowledge to that kind of extent is getting into that chef specialty pizza. The one that's coming up for this month is one that I used to do at Finch's Brasserie that used to be here in town, where Lenny's where it is now, and that used to be called the Queen Bee, and that's just like a regular pie, a little bit of spread of garlic oil, white truffle oil, mozzarella, provolone. We do a bunch of prosciutto that's been aged for 14 months. Ooh. We do gorgonzola cheese that's been imported. We do some Arrigo blend, which is once again Parmesan, Asiago, and Romano, and then we finish it with hot honey afterwards. So it's something where
I didn't eat before we came down here.
It sounds crazy.
Let's just shut it down.
No.
Let's go to the store.
Yeah.
No. And I hope it should make your mouth water. It's something like that is so epically funky and so salty with a prosciutto 14 months old. Then when you hit it with something as raw as honey and it's so sweet, it kind of brings back to this weird primordial funky and sweet.
Yeah.
Where we get back to, and it's not I'm certainly not the first person to put blue cheese and honey together.
Right.
But hey, if I'm bringing it back together, it's something you might have forgotten about. That's what we're doing. That's where our mainstay is. Yeah.
Queen Bee.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a Beyonce endorsement or?
She's already there. Yeah,
that's great.
Cool.
She
said good luck.
Yeah, just $50 and a couple free pies, and I'm sure she was down.
It's funny because even without her endorsement, shout out to one of my old pastry chefs, Anna. She would always say when they did our creme brulees, when we were baking them, how they're done? Once you hit them on the side of the rack, if they jiggle like Beyonce, they're good to go. So we've been using Beyonce as a metric for a long, long time, let alone taste. I mean,
I wonder, do they have the Beehive trademark? Can you be like, join the Beehive, come on in, get the Queen Bee? Just a marketing idea. I don't take it or leave it.
I'm down. Yeah, no, there's got to be someone out there hey, I'll give you a nickel for every time I say it.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys need to do a bet. Be like, hey, I bet I can say the Beehive 5 times to the customer.
Well, try that. You gotta put a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just cover a Beyonce song.
That's not a bad idea.
All the love ladies.
I was thinking Love on Top. Single ladies, that's good too.
I'm thinking of the trio.
Yeah, got me feeling so crazy right now. Love.
Give me a Queen Bees. Give me. Excuse me. I think.
Yeah. All right.
I digress.
We talked about the emphasis on salads. I know you guys have an incredible tuna one. What are the salad offerings you guys got going on over at Max's?
Outside of just the tuna is a good one. It's that one's called the tuna tataki, which is like a take on. We're not really grilling it. We're not really searing it. We're just torching the hell out of it. We take a big wand and we just blast it as hard as we can. We take tuna, we rub it in spices, and we just burn the hell out of all the spices. That's the tuna tataki. You enjoy the raw part of the tuna. Honestly, it'd be called toro, but because of what we're doing, we're not known as a sushi place.
Right.
Guess what? We got to bring in frozen tuna. Guess what? It comes from the belly. It'd be called toro if it wasn't frozen.
Right.
It's IQF, so we got to call it something else, and there it is. But the point is, it's still a great product we're bringing in. The best product because we can't deal with it, and that's one of them. And we do a Verlasso salmon, which is a sustainably farmed salmon that we bring in for that, and we also do a tofu salad that we feature as well. And those are the main ones where we're not trying to hate anyone that can enjoy our pizza. We're not trying to let anyone out. But if you're going to come in and have a salad that's going to be a meal, it's going to be a meal. I'm not trying to BS you into thinking that a Cobb salad is a Cobb salad. But when you leave here, I'm hoping you have a quarter of a salad to take home for breakfast tomorrow or lunch.
Yeah.
They're very large.
It's a big.
Yeah.
They're very large.
I mean, I've seen the pictures of the tuna one. It looks, it's very pretty. Better business, better community. For over a century, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce has been a cornerstone of business growth and community development. They are dedicated to helping local businesses thrive. Their business is all about your business. Join the Chamber today. Call 812-336-6381 or visit chamberbloomington.org to learn more.
Yeah, We most of our proteins we're about averaging about 5 ounces per protein, whether it's tofu, the chicken, or the tuna or salmon.
Yeah,
it's gonna be around because, like I said, it's got to be substantial. I hate going somewhere and you ever go somewhere and you get a salmon or not salmon, but go get a salad, and you go, you know what? I don't want this, and this, and this, and you're still paying the full price. Mm-hmm. Really hate that, right?
Yeah,
so we're trying to make salads that really make sense that we like deter you from taking things away.
Okay.
Like, hey,
So
you know,
get the value.
right. That orange should go with the goat cheese.
Right.
And that spiciness of the radish should go with that sweetness.
And
Like,
we
let it work on its own thing.
And we leave the
Plus this.
option for them to design their own salad as we do the pizza.
Okay.
So,
You got all
unlike some other
Yeah.
places that before have been very adamantly against you doing your own pizza, we do let you design your own pizza if
I
you
love
would
that.
like.
Yeah, create your own and then take that over to salads. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So obviously you're doing this great beer, this great, this great pizza, this great salad. You need something to drink with it. You guys, I know you guys both enjoy a good brew. Tell us a little bit about the beers you guys got going on at Max's.
Well, the old Max's, the first one that we had in town, we were one of the first people to carry Bell's Two Hearted in a keg. And so we put that on immediately. We got the BBC Ruby. My first restaurant job, I was a waiter at Lenny's the day the restaurant opened.
Oh, wow.
Did I age myself? Did I age myself, guys?
You might age Jeff me, so I don't know.
Whoa!
Shout out
Shots
to him.
fired, Jeff. So yeah, it's a great local beer, and I've had the pleasure of playing at the brewery quite a few times with the new owners, and they're excellent people, super nice, and so I want to keep supporting the local beer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the Upland Game Day. We're both sports enthusiasts, and that just seemed to be the right thing. And we only have 4 taps. So our 4th tap is going to rotate a bit. Right now we have the Sour Monkey from Victory on the 4th tap.
Yeah. I think when I was in there having lunch, that used to be one of my favorite beers was the Golden Monkey, their Belgian triple.
Yeah.
And so just the sour version of that.
Sour.
Yeah,
the golden sour monkey.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Obviously I know it's a big part of what you guys do is having, Two Hearted, having good brews to go along with everything, especially live music. You want to have some good beers to drink.
Well, with the specifically that game day that we did is, we're so close, at 1280 North College, we're so close to, all the stadiums right there.
Yeah.
That, even though we've been open since February 2nd, when it came to the Super Bowl, I don't know how many times we've had from people coming in from either a football game or a basketball game, and they just say, sorry, this is the first place that had Hoosier Game Day after we got off, and we've been drinking it all day. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we already knew we made a great choice, right? From being thank you. I don't know how they found it out that we had it, but they were like, cool, right there, first stop for beer.
That's perfect.
And, and having something like that, either if it's traffic coming from tailgating traffic coming from East 17th, coming into the West Side, we're finding something like that. We're getting there.
If the people at Upland manage to hear this and they could get us something for the window that says Game Day, we'll probably sell even more.
I'll
Game
call
Day.
B-Head right now.
No, yeah.
Let's get B-Head on sticker.
Yeah. Please, go ahead.
We've never done a live call.
It's right with this kid, right? I'm changing a diaper. I'm like,
Right.
but can I get a neon? What do you mean? Why are you changing that? Can I get a neon?
Yeah. Carl will be fine. No, that's funny. Anyway, we'll get to the contact.
Yeah.
There's plenty of Upland people that'll help you out.
For sure.
Speaking of, you're gonna for Pace's playoff run, you're gonna have to do the courtside.
I have to.
Well, I guess we should put courtside in there.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
You're repping the Pacers gear. I know you and I are
more
big
than,
Pacers fans.
I'm more than repping the Pacers.
I know. I see
gear.
it peeking out. I knew that wasn't just another gold shirt.
We
were talking about that LeBron tip a week and a half ago.
Oh.
That was horrible.
Well, they got their the game after they had buzzer beater against them, so they got it came back around.
Well, no, they did that 60-point Washington game.
Yeah.
That blowout right after that.
We bounced back doing that.
Yeah,
with
they
the
lost one.
Yeah, and then they lost
last
I think it
second.
was Detroit or something.
Right. Well, hey, we show all the Pacer games. Well, if you're feeling left out
all
of
the
this,
Pacer
we
games.
show.
Oh, yeah.
That's good to know because I don't pay for
Playoffs are
Bally's.
getting ready to start.
All right. See, that's a
yeah.
huge selling point.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
free.
hey, we're getting the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting the word out.
I'm
Yeah.
not just a fan. I just happen to watch all the games. They're just on,
Yeah.
So
$7.99
watching.
lunch special, Pacers games,
Yeah.
the original, champions of Bell's Two Hearted, along with some great local beers.
Yeah.
And then
cans and bottles too.
you guys,
PBR specifically.
you got to have the Pibber.
yeah.
Repping some good dessert now too, aren't you?
Oh, we got
yeah.
some
What do we got?
ice
What
cream
was
from
it?
a
Those
local place.
Hartzels, I think.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Hartzels.
Ali's. No, wait.
Yeah.
It rhymes with it. Chocolate mousse. We got the
Oh, chocolate mousse.
Weird.
Chocolate mousse,
Yeah.
I've had it once or twice. It's okay.
Chocolate
pretty
mousse.
damn good.
Yeah. It's all right. I brush my teeth to it, so I like it.
There you go. Yeah. Well, the grasshopper's minty. So you just throw a little dab of that on your toothbrush. You're good to go for the day. And then you get Oreo pieces in your teeth.
Yeah, no joke. We only this small added up there, but like, and what we've only done like the chocolate mousse ice creams in within the last month, right?
Yeah, it's been
Something
like a
that.
week or so.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've already had a few people that hit us up about it.
That's great.
It's been mostly 25% people that already had it, 75% people that just don't know about it.
Wow, that's
like,
great.
I've had people that go, "Oh, this is great. So what flavor is the chocolate mousse?"
Yeah.
I'm like, chocolate. What? No, I know, but it's the chocolate mousse. I'm like, what? It's mousse flavored. I'm like, no, it's the chocolate. It's chocolate flavored from the chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
We have a vanilla. We got a cookie dough. We got and they're just like, oh, excuse me. I'm like, hey, listen, my man. Like, you want to get a waffle cone with it? Please go downtown.
Yeah, you're like, it's not mousse though.
No, but like, but it's interesting how like even though we were thinking that. We're just like, hey, we're gonna get a dessert on there that everyone knows in town, and kind of appease that kind of crowd to get people that don't know your product, and now we can help you. It's just like, wow, it's kind of crazy how many people that we're getting in, and that kind of shows our growth.
Yeah,
where we're going from like our regular folks that used to know us to now we're getting someone I met today who's Sarah. I don't want to shout out to you, but she's an undercover cop that was sticking around. She goes, I've been shot. I've worked for the Fed. I have a piece of like shrapnel in my leg.
Geez.
We had a whole conversation yesterday about it.
Wow.
And she was like, I like the ice cream. I'm like, we don't make it. Just so you know, like, don't hurt me. Just like, we don't make it, but it's made here in town. And come back to Bloomington, please.
I love that. So just in town visiting. We'll still have that all the time. Literally, in between the podcast we recorded just before this and this one, I checked my phone. I had a comment from someone on the Food Truck Friday post. I was so disappointed chocolate mousse didn't have chocolate mousse. And they spelled mousse animal the first time and then like the food the second time. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't, it's the mousse chocolate ice cream should scratch that itch.
No, right. Yeah.
Sorry, it's not light and fluffy like a actual mousse. Anyway, we appreciate you guys carrying such a love.
No, she was cool. I told her like, hey,
cream.
if she still has a job because of Dodge, come back.
Yeah.
Like we're glad you give you something, but
yeah. The No Dishes podcast is brought to you by visitbloomington.com. VisitBloomington.com is the best resource for restaurant and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town. Well, Abel, you talked a little bit on Finch's, and Travers, you talked about starting at Lenny's. I'd love to get your guys' backgrounds and your backstories. I called Abel celebrity chef. There's a reason for that. He's been at a lot of places and accomplished a lot, including the best French dip I've ever had. And some really, really good meals at some of his stops that he's been at. Abel, kind of give us your backstory, where you're from, and what brought you to this point today.
The quick point of it is, originally from Chicago, I graduated from high school in Columbus, Indiana, and then I came to school here and decided to just stop doing what I was doing and got into the service industry, and that just satisfied such more of a like satisfaction as far as like I was doing like a return on an investment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Here in town, when I first started here in town, I was working at a Papa John's. I worked at a Buffalo's. I worked at restaurant Monet. That was the restaurant after Chef Talent sold it. So we get to hang out for a little bit, but it's mostly under his sous chef's run there, working for Chef Finch at Finch's, Brasserie and Candice Bocard, working for Seth Elgar over at Noca's Reserved. a thankfully very short stint at Farm Bloomington, working over there. That's a long story. Working over at Cardinal Spirits, helping start up Half Bottle Bloomington. But right before Half Bottle, I was working over doing my own thing, running like Hoosier Beastro. So that was kind of my own little thing into like running my own thing. Obviously taking on all costs and everything, and working with the Elks here in town, and them helping me out do my own thing was really just a great leg up. And going from that, being my own boss to like picking my own days off and doing whatever I wanted to. When John and Rachel Odell from Half Bottle came over and they were just like, "Hey, sorry, we just keep hearing your name. What is? Can you tell us about you?" I'm like, "Sure." Yeah, my spiel. And we just met right in the middle. Like I couldn't meet another group of people, or a couple rather, that just not only understood where I was coming from as like a chef, but like, man, like I want to do it right. And if that means X, Y, and Z, we're doing it. And it's so nice. I'm not going to say they have unlimited amount of money. I'm just saying that they knew that it takes a bit of money to get what you want right, and without cutting corners. And that's something that I was just like, if you want to go on that route, I'm definitely down to be like, I'll be the bird of bad news when we're really hitting our costs super high, and also be on that same, infinite, just being like, you know what, we're doing this so great that I can't believe we're doing this so well, And I've brought enough experience in my belief that I feel like we nailed that to a certain extent. But then, of course, life happens, and Trav and I, for years in the background, have been talking about doing some kind of business together. It wasn't gonna be Max's. We were talking about fine dining this or that, or anything that could have just sparked our interest to be like, hey, you and I need to be in business together. I have this, I have these contacts, you got the skills there, and now we're just years later meeting up, and we're like, now we have all these things together. And then it just sucked that at the time I was doing this, I had to tell Half Bottle, be like, hey, I'm sorry, but my homies are doing this. And I told my homies, and they completely understood. I couldn't ask for a better understanding group of people to be like, if that was me, I'd do the same thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's so great.
They were like, if we could do the same thing, we'd offer it to you, but we can't. We're starting up like you're starting up. And, that's one of the biggest things that I think that when I transferred over, that a lot of people would ask, why? And, anything else like that. It's just like, no, it wasn't anything malicious. It was just like, my homie and I are doing something. I promise we do them, and we're doing it. Yeah. And we got to go do it. You got to,
And that place, by all accounts, is keeping the quality up, and they have the recipes, and it's a great place to go and have some food and drink.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really nailed it. I've been in multiple times. That's where I'm talking about that best French dip that I've ever had as that Half Bottle. And then the steak sandwich you did at Cardinal, and the stuff you guys did at NoCo and Finch's. So, you've earned your reputation. There's a reason they kept hearing your name. And so it's so cool, though, to see it come full circle where you're like, I got to work with my homie now. I got to have equity. I got to build this thing together. And it's such a cool brand with history like Max's Place.
Because, there's so many other places in town that have had the chance to get back to that limelight. And, they got it to a certain extent, but not where everyone else wanted it to be.
Right.
And we're and even to ourselves, we're at the fault of our own regulars. Even though we're doing what we can as good as we can, they still go, hey, man, it'd be nice if you had that random ass calzone. And I'm like, what? Which one? I don't even remember that one. They're like, but if you did, I'd be there like 8 days a week. I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would.
Travers, take us through your long history here in the hospitality industry.
Well,
it's one big injury. You just hurt yourself.
It does.
Every shift. Yeah.
I'm gonna twist the question a little to Bloomington and my history here.
That's great.
I was born in northern Indiana, but came down here with my parents, not together, but with each one of them in the early 70s, and Bloomington was a wild ass place. And I was a wild ass kid, and I had a great time. And then I got taken back up north to go to school. And I came back down here in 86 when I graduated from high school to go to IU. and it changed a lot by that time. And one of the things that we try to do in Max's is to inspire that energy of Bloomington 72, 73, 74. You know, that's energy that we want Bloomington to have. And we try to be that little beacon of that in the times that we're in, no matter what times they are. So I've always wanted Max's to be an establishment like Nick's, you know, like the chocolate mousse. One of these places that you think of when you think of Bloomington. And we were gone for several years, and we're just a little baby right now, but we're going to do our best to make it something that's going to stick and something that people can identify with Bloomington.
I think the passion shows, talking to both of you guys, you know, I think it's a dream team, you two together. Everything that Travers is good at, everything that you're good at, just coming together to bring back Max's and doing it right. I mean, I did the first soft opening night. I was there. I've come and done, you know, it's like, I can attest. I've had it. I've tasted it. And it's just like, it's fucking fire. It's like, don't know how else to put it. So I'm really excited for you guys. It's really cool. Go check out Max's if you haven't yet. Last thing we always do on every episode, we got to talk about where you guys like to eat out. And I know you both, I know you both got places to show some love to.
It's the alley bar count.
Yeah. We can have some.
I was just at Yonkos.
He's already repping.
He's repping the hat.
You got to rep alley bar.
Like my girlfriend just paid the tab at Yonkos, so shout out to her.
Might bring in her as another partner for Max.
When I was talking about Bloomington establishments, Yonkos is right at the top of that list. You know, so yeah, we like that place. Other places, the Runcible Spoon, that was established not far after the time that I was talking about. And when Chef Matt O'Neill took it over, it blossomed into the Runcible Spoon that we have now. And yeah, it's like if you're going for dinner, it's like the best kept secret.
I know. Yeah,
Bloomington is to go to dinner at Runcible Spoon, and your food will be excellent. The price won't be that great. It'll be pretty low. It's they sell very inexpensive, high quality dinners.
Yeah, so it will be great.
Yeah, it will be great. Okay.
I was like, yeah,
great
the price is very
great
affordable.
as in awesome, or great as in high.
It won't be that great as in large. Yeah.
I don't know what you think about.
You're like, it's gonna be great, but they're gonna charge you. They're gonna charge you a lot. No. Yeah, it's very affordable and really great food. The Bloomington Town Planner is a community calendar owned and published by local residents John and Sharon Martin. Mailed out to Bloomington homes in December of each year, it features school schedules and community events. And don't forget the coupons at the bottom of the calendar. They'll save you money and help you decide on the next restaurant or retailer to check out here in the Bloomington area. Town Planner also has an online calendar which will be found at townplanner.com. Make sure to sign up for their weekly e-newsletter so you can stay on top of all the fun events going on around town. Hey, well, I know you got some other places that you love hitting up.
No, for sure. I mean, like I said, I just came back from Yonkos. I mean, well, it always depends. You know, you and I have been in this town for so long. You know, just like anyone asking you what your favorite place in town, you can't really say. You know, you got so many either nuances. You
got to start compartmentalize. Like, okay, let's talk. Where am I going for a good sandwich?
Exactly. You know, right? And then for right now, you know, I've been hitting up. Just like random places that I just keep either meeting people from like that business and just supporting them. You know, Richie obviously over at Hinkle's. Mm-hmm. You know,
the man.
When he got, I heard his he had the interview here, and I was like, oh, of course I got to go see what's up, and I gave him some hell about it. You know, I've been we're very competitive in pizza, but I've been loving the pizza that they're doing at Heartworks.
Mm-hmm, you know, fantastic.
And, their beer for sure. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've been doing some bingos there, and like Jeff is crushing it.
Oh, you went back to? Nice. I didn't know that.
So we're doing every other Tuesday there. It was like, the first one in April, third week in April, and then first Tuesday in May.
I have a professional question that I need to have answered about Heartwork, and is that do they distribute beer, or can you only get beer there?
I
right?
don't think they're distributing yet.
That's too bad.
I'm sure it's part of the model. But dude, talk to them, and I can give you context if you need it for Dan or Aubrey. But like, dude, they're your neighbor. I'm sure they would sell you a keg.
I'm not gonna be sure.
Well, I would think they would.
They could rename it a keg for.
But anyway, no, they're doing great pizza.
I haven't had any of the late night food over at Sleepers. But I've been going up there randomly because it's just like, you know what, we're obviously on the north side of town, so you know when you're downtown or anywhere else in town, you never think about let's go further north away from downtown. Right? So lately I've been hitting up Sleepers. I mean, those cats are really awesome. Yeah,
when it's like really like an alley bar to me. It's just chill. It's relaxed. It's a good watering hole. But it's just off the beaten path. Yeah,
for sure. Any new spots? I haven't really gotten into anything new. I mean, I've been exploring more of like Brew Burger.
There you go.
Which has been pretty nice. Like the last time I went there, I got their like garlic burger. Had like 3 cheeses and garlic on there, I believe.
Did Jordan Owens work with you at No Coast?
No.
Because he worked with Sasha at Sweetgrass, and I knew Sasha worked at NoCo. But I didn't know if you guys overlapped because he's running the kitchen at Brew Burger.
Jordan and I, we've worked together like 3 community kitchen fundraisers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we've always done those together. So like we chit chat, and just talk shit about the industry and
No, he's great, and I mean, Brew Burger is part of a Indianapolis chain. I mean, the Cunningham Restaurant Group, but it's got a good local chef running the show there.
Yeah, cool.
And lately, just because of Trav, I've been going through like my Portnoy versions of like
is Trav recording?
And it's just like what's in town and what's going on. He made me look up like Portnoy reviews here in town from like what is it Goodfellas, obviously,
he did Mother Bears,
and I think he did. What else did he do? I think he only did 2, maybe.
Those are the only 2 I'm aware that he. Yeah. When he did the Goodfellas, like the original one down in Kentucky, and then did the Indy one too.
Gotcha,
but that one was a famous one because he got kicked off the patio, and like he's like, this place gets a 0.0, pizza's trash, and just trash Goodfellas.
He did Rockets.
Did he really?
He did Rockets. Yeah.
That's cool.
I think he might have given them the highest praise for Rockets. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, which is where
I like Lenny's thin crust pizza.
Lenny's
thin crust pizza. I like that a lot. But I don't really go out for pizza anymore.
Well, I'm sure. I don't go out for ice cream much.
No.
Before we got
spaghetti
into
meatballs at Lenny's, though. If you ask for spaghetti meatballs, ask for mozzarella and ask them to bake it. Little tip there. I've asked. Right. And I'm like, oh man, it's just so good.
I like Happy Thai.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm a fan of the Happy Thai.
So I ordered.
I have acid reflux.
I'm a 2.
Yeah, acid reflux. I was a 4.
Yeah, I take a Prilosec every day.
Right. Me too. Yeah, me
absolutely,
too.
Bro.
Prilosec.
P gang.
Yeah. I mean, I get the Kroger version.
Oh no, I get the CVS version.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
Well, now I'm getting the Costco version.
Okay, cool.
But no, they Happy Thai. I went in there last week and got my spicy crispy chicken, but it's a level 2, so it's not really spicy. And they were like, oh, like chocolate mousse. Someone came in here because of someone from there, and they pulled up. It was when I went on Michael Glab's Big Talk on WFHB. And I forgot I talked about Happy Thai on there. And they were like so thankful that like someone came in there because I was like talking about how I go to Happy Thai all the time. And they were like showed the name and saw that my name was Jordan on the order. And they're like, oh, this is
They're
sick.
doing well. Their carry out business is outrageous.
Yeah, it's so good. It's always popping every time I go in there. Dude, I think we are blessed in Bloomington with really good Thai options.
For sure.
Blooming Thai just opened up Hoosier Thai in Nashville. It's the same folks, and it's so good. They're my favorite.
Nashville, Indiana?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Bangkok Thai is fantastic. Yeah, man. I think we're doing good on the Thai front in Bloomington.
Yeah, I mean, the only other spot, I mean, I really need to give a shout out to, I mean, everyone loves Peely's, but La Bonita has been doing fantastic work up there. Like,
nice.
They just don't give it, they're not doing a whole lot of promos. They're just letting the product just stand for itself. And I mean, it's just, every time I go up there, it's just, I mean, it's what you want, man. If I ever go, it's just, it hits hard and good portions. The price is right around where everyone else is. And it's just a nice little place. And if you want to go to their actual like little shop next door, you can buy Mexican sweetbreads, a piñata if you want to. So if you're really into like decking out your whole day, you can have some tacos, take a piñata, fill it up with candy, and then just really have a whole Latin day.
Hear me out. Every Pacers playoff win, we go ham on the
Oh
piñata.
man,
I mean, that's not bad.
who's that dude that just got fired? Malone?
Yeah.
Wow, 3 games left in the regular
crazy.
season,
Oh
and
my
Nuggets
God, get out
of here.
fire their head
Yeah.
coach.
I
And
hate
he just
it.
won a title 2 years ago.
Hate
Jokic
it.
piñata? Well, we'll
Crazy.
Do that. We
Hate
can do
it.
Jokic piñata.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
fellas, always good hanging out with you, seeing you, doing the damn thing.
Well, real quick, Jordan, what's your favorite pizza in town? Now that we're in
Oh,
Columbia.
we're going to just put him on the spot.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. We'll see what happens after this recording, but yeah, go ahead.
You know what? I
Good
think
luck making it
Drink
out
your
of
fake
here.
water. Me too.
no, it's real.
Good luck making it out of here.
Yeah, you know, I think pizza is a big depends on the mood you're in. You know, so if I want something like
It's very
substantial,
aggressive.
Have you
no,
thought
a
of-
little heavier, I'm going Mother Base.
So you are going into a political career later.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, but I do love I love Max's. But I don't think I could just sit here and say
No. We're just putting you in the spot, man. Come on.
No, I mean, here's what I'll say.
We're
Here's what I'll
being
say. Mother Bears has held the title of my favorite pizza in town for a long time, and I love Pizza X.
It's a total different
there's-
style.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
And
right,
so it's
right.
like you can't compare the two. And even Heartwork, I was singing it when I was eating the Heartwork pizza when I was doing bingo last Tuesday. I was like, man, that north side between you guys and I'm like, that pizza scene on the north side is like becoming the spot between you guys and Heartwork.
They're crazy. I mean,
both
they're
doing your pizzas.
They're nerdy stuff about their pizza, like
Oh, yeah.
going down to their RO Neapolitan water, like compromises. I'm like, to a certain extent, are you overdoing it? Maybe, I don't know, but I love that someone's going to that route to be like
passion.
yeah,
Jinx.
just like beer, like if you're doing
Prilosec and
reverse
passion.
osmosis to make a beer, like that's why we have certain IPAs. It's because of that. So it's like, yeah, I'm all about it. Like I love trying what they're doing because
Yeah.
I love uni ovens. I just love what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They're like, I dig it. And I love, like, I'm one of a lot of people in town I don't think like burnt crusts.
I love
But
it.
I love
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Garrett-
burnt, it's a flavor,
Right. Garrett, can we call this episode Prilosec and Passion? I think that's what Travers and I just decided. Prilosec and Passion, Max's place.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
All right, guys, anything you want everyone to know before I let you go? We covered it. We covered some bases.
We're closed on Tuesdays. It's a thing. I feel so bad when people
Are you
come
open
over
Mondays,
there.
though?
Yeah, we're
That's
open
good.
Monday.
So Bloomington is the same thing because
Yeah.
so many places close Monday. You zig when everyone else
Yeah,
zags.
we're
They
a
close
zigger.
Monday. You're
We
open.
do
You're going to
that.
pick up all that business, and then you can close Tuesday.
Yeah, we
when
got a
they're-
lot of industry folk right now. I don't want to call them out, but yeah, and you know what? I'm not going to say anything. You know what? If they're there, they're there. Don't bother them.
Call them out by name.
No. If they're there, they want to hang out. They want to be regular people, just like myself. They want a Sprite and a slice and just leave me alone.
Okay.
all.
So they don't want to be chatted up.
No, they just want to hang out. I mean, I can tell. They're all tired.
Right. Yeah. They're just coming in relaxed.
We're coming into this.
I mean, if anyone gets it, I mean, I'm sure you get
yeah.
hounded every time you go in
Yeah.
public.
We're about to go into this graduation Mother's Day weekend in the same weekend, which is awful for Bloomington.
And then
I'm about to
Easter,
see
and
everyone,
then Easter 420.
I mean, we'll be elevated by then, but we'll
Yeah.
be good. We'll be good.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
Different color
Max's
day.
Place, North College. Check them out. Travers and Abel. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yep.
What another fun episode, huh, gang? Thanks to Visit Bloomington, as always, for being our presenting sponsors. Thanks to Everywhere Science for this cool sign. Nate and team hooked it up. And thanks to you for watching so we can keep doing this. See you next Tuesday morning with another new episode of the No Dishes Podcast. This episode of the No Dishes Podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.